What do we have here? I don't know, probably the best morning show ever hit the atmosphere. Let's be clear, there's plenty of others that do it B.I.G. But keeping it a buck though, none to get you up though like GMG. With all the news and real point of views you can use, light and heavy topics we peruse, even a laugh or two. What you talking? Good morning gang, be the issue and take your friends and them kin and all come on in, tune in. You ain't gonna want them in state, and even the trolls and haters that hate us, we end up being their favorite. Cause from 8 to 10, we get it in, believe that. I mean, from where else could you go when you were part of the show? Definitely GMG, cause when you show love, we show love back. First thing in the morning, we get you through, so after the yawning, wash up and wipe your face, get your snacks and come on in, get comfy, but most importantly, in all caps, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Listen, we back, November 8th, 2024. It's your boy, Big Phil Speaks, and this is the Good Morning Gang Morning Show, brought to you by myself and that good GMG, Good Money Gang. What? That part. Y'all coming over to the good YouTube. The lituation has just begun. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, GMGers and GMGettes, it's Friday, TGIF and all that good stuff. Thank God it's Friday. Listen, and you are blessed because you are in the building. I said you are blessed. You better believe it. Because guess what? You are amongst the living, and someone as fortunate or blessed as you are to see the day. So you better count it all joy and make it the best day ever in spite of. You feel me? And while you at it, plan, plot, and strategize so that if you're so blessed to see mañana, tomorrow, you make it the even better day than the day. That part. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, before I go any further, listen, what was I gonna say? Anyway, make sure that you hit the thumbs up for your boy. Had a brain fart for a second. Make sure on top of that, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Boop, boop. More importantly, after that, hit that notification bell, something like this, there. So you be in the know whenever the Good Morning Gang morning show drop, whenever Feel the Love Friday, which is tonight, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or anything else that I drop on this Good Big Phil Speaks channel, you be amongst the first to know. And while you're hitting that notification bell, make sure you hit all, because sometimes YouTube gets finicky on how the algorithm wants to give you the notifications. I said notification. Yeah, I said a new word. I did that. Listen, just make sure you in tune so you can be one of the first to know whenever we go live. Huh? That part there. Make sure, ladies and gentlemen, who we got in the building. Matter of fact, before I do that, before I go any further, matter of fact, no, let me get a roll call out the way first. Let me get that out the way first for my peoples. King Skills, good morning to ye. Papa True Guns, what's up, nephew? Crack baby, trick baby, crack baby is in the building. Peep Scheme, Wagwan, Brethren, Polo Dolo, rolling solo from Kansas City, Missouri. Sexy Sugar Mama, she's in the building. You better believe it's a good morning and happy Friday to you. Vader Wave Beats, GMG, good morning, huh? Who else we got in here? Des and D, 1/3 of that good HR team. Super, what's up, Des and D? Listen, Miss A Block, another third of the HR team, and the first lady of the HR team, she's in the building. Cassie, I see you. Happy Friday, happy Friday. Shawnette Bridges, I see you. Good morning to ye. You behaving yourself, Shawnette? Are you behaving yourself? I'm just asking. Inquiring minds do want to know. You feel me? Rashad Houston, the home team, GMG. Listen. Who else we got in the building? Jola Akangbe, good morning to ye. He said good morning. He or she, because I don't know if that's a woman or a man, said good morning, saints and ain'ts. I know that's right. The Bird, good morning, Grand Rising, good morning, and all those things. It is a happy Friday, that part right there, in spite of. Listen, CLBCNY was goody like the mob. Sharonda Bradford, good morning to ye. Good morning. Listen, did I say Vino Diva? If I didn't say Vino Diva, please smack me one time. Vino Diva's in the building one time for my West Side Focus, because they be in here. That's right, inquiring minds want to know, Miss Sugarcane Music, why are you not over here on the YouTube? You hear me? Nays the Menace was good. Good morning, good morning. Why is this over here like that? I think I erased it on the other side. It don't matter. Creole Cupcake, she's in the building. Good morning to ye. Who else is in here? Real quick like. Do. So it did post it. What the hell is going on with the software this morning? It is bugging out, but we goody like the mob, huh? S God, peace is in the building. Salute. Who else we got in here? Tina B. Marie from that good Summit Hills Way is in the building. Good morning. Kathy Cotton Candy, she's in the building. Good morning to you. Good morning to y'all. Come on over to the good YouTube channel, pinned right there. Connie Baptiste, she's in the building. Rich was goody like the mob. Trina Pink, I seen you, Trina, celebrating thine birthday. Happy birthday to ye. Happy birthday to ye. Listen, hopefully you've had a blessed one. That part. Riri Lokster is in the building. Salute. Huh? Lady Cosanita, she's in the building. Jeannie Miles is in the building. You get me every time I see that teacher Phil. She said, of course, for a few anyway. Listen, I'm catching up with these comments real quick. You need some water? I got some water right here. You feel me? Music for God, too. Good morning, darling. Good morning. We about to get this situation started. Keenan Kong, you can't go wrong. Big Phil, a.k.a. Kool-Aid. That's what your mama said. She was like, hey, Kool-Aid. Stop playing with me, Keenan. It's too early. It's too early. Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, before I get started with anything else, let me run this down real quick, like for all intents and purposes. Warning, warning, warning. Federal law, Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107 allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, and exhibit portions of copyrighted material under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. Fair use allows for the quoting of copyrighted material in the creation of a new work for purposes including, but not limited to, criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, or research. Fair use preserves the free flow of culture. That part right there, bing, we back like we never left. Ladies and, matter of fact, let me put this up real quick. Y'all see what the title is. The title of today's show is There Will Be Wars and Rumors of Wars. For those that are inclined, know exactly where that comes from, and some know what that means and some don't know what that means. I've been hearing a lot of talks and conversations here lately from people that, they on the right path, but they still lost off to see the wizard. But guess what? It's all to the good. Listen, it's all to the good. One of the topics is going to be too hot for TV for Sheezy. I'll explain what that means shortly. The second part will be, what does VP Kamala Harris's loss mean? The third will be, will President Biden's final days be great? We'll get into that. The next one is no more excuses. It's wartime. It's wartime. And then finally, we'll end it off with Ask GMG. I put them not gonna lie anonymous questionnaire things out on my IG, and a couple people have tapped in and wanted a couple answers for some things. So I'll definitely get to that. And for those that don't know, I'll be putting up in between the shows. I'll be putting up a questionnaire on in the IG stories or whatever for if it's something you're going through, if it's something that you want to answer to or some insight on or whatever the case may be, you can anonymously, because I won't know who it is submitting it unless you say who you are. I will never know, and I will pick from the entries and discuss one or two of them on the show. That part. No, peep scheme. I'm about to get to that. I didn't take YouTube got to that. YouTube did that. We gonna get to it, Cassie. You jumping the gun, but you got your hand on the right trigger. Pause, no diddy. Y'all coming over here to the good YouTube. Hairs in my eye. Anywho, first up the bat, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, let me do. First up the bat is too hot for TV for Sheezy. Keisha Hall can have herself a ball if her assets are in order. She's in the building. Well, let me explain or give insight into what Peep Scheme mentioned, right? Yesterday, from Wednesday till like yesterday evening, basically, I was down at the hospital with my daughter, and I got an email. I got an email from YouTube. Where they demonetized my channel. They demonetized my channel and put memberships on pause and all them other things. They said due to reuse of content, reuse of other materials, right? Even though the Fair Use Warning, the Fair Use Act basically gives me the right to do what I'm doing. But I have never received a copyright strike on this account. I have never received a copyright strike on this account ever. So that's what made it a little weird to me. Like there was no warning. They just said, okay, bloop, up. But then on top of that, what does what mean, Connie? So I had to put in. I stopped off on my way home. Matter of fact, on my way home, I did it in my car. You had to create a little video. Had to be under 5 minutes to basically try to appeal their decision, right? So I placed that appeal in. So we gonna see. They said it got up to 14 days to check it out. Up to 14 days, right? And if I lose that appeal, I can't get remonetized till February 2025, which is cool on the one hand because I don't make that much money on through here anyway. However, it's just real interesting. Yeah, YouTube feeling themselves. Something hella bugged out because I was like, what? Is you talk about your YouTube channel? Yes, I am. I definitely am. So YouTube messaging and canceling a membership. No, Connie, my show will still be here. It's just that, put it this way, ask God. I'm about to go there. Not necessarily about him, but what I think it might have been. But it just means in the meantime, between time, I can't get super chats, super stickers, things of that nature. Memberships, people can't join the membership or whatever, which is okay, which is cool. But there's other ways if you do want to support the channel that you can. As you can see, that little QR code up there, you can always hit it bloop, 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 with another phone or come back to it from your phone. And actually, they call it buy Me a Coffee, but it's a site where you can actually send a gift or a donation or whatever if you so choose. You feel me? So, long story short, if any of y'all were in the last live, which most of y'all were, that live actually produced damn near 1,000 views out the gate. I was perplexed. I said, okay, it was definitely just put up your Zelle. I could do that too. Yeah, Zelle or Apple Pay or whatever. Um, I was pleasantly surprised, right? But it seemed like after that video, I don't know if I was giving up too much information. I don't know if it was too hot for TV for cheesy. Don't speak on it. Yes, I'm gonna speak on it. Frank Murphy, DC Mambo Sauce in the building. Dev Lee, I see you. But yeah, it just it messed my head up because I was like, what? Now I've had situations where I had to split monetization with somebody else whose content I put in these lives or whatever the case may be. Cool, right? But I've never gotten a copyright strike on my account. Never. Because usually you get copyright strikes, and then they'll either demonetize you or punish you some other way or take your channel or whatever. But I never got any of those. So I didn't even get notification of what video or what videos that they are having an issue with. More importantly, all I'm doing is utilizing other clips and other people's contents to create a new work in which we're educating people, we're doing news reporting, et cetera, which is fully allowable via the Fair Use Act. I know a couple other people that went through it in the past, Willie D being one of them. He had to sue YouTube. He had to sue them or whatever. So I don't know if it will go that far or need to go that far. But at this point, my following isn't that huge where it's going to be that much of a loss at the moment anyway. I'm going to continue to do me and do what I do best, and that's talk my talk and talk to the good weeples. You feel me? Huh? But I feel PHEEL and FEEL. I feel like I ruffled somebody's feather, either from that live or maybe another live, and they reached out to somebody, because I be damn. Somebody jelly, somebody jealous. Y'all know how I say it with the silent J. Somebody jealous. Huh? Phil got us people. You silly. Hey, Tavy, good morning. But it's goody like the mob. I ain't tripping. Like I said, I don't make that much coin off of here. No way. I get my money on everywhere else but here, or whatever the case may be. But that's all right. We gonna make it do what it do, baby. We gonna make it do what it do, baby. Out of all these pages that talk more into detail with these things, why you, Lady Kosanitha? I don't know. I don't know. You never know who's watching and who got an issue, who mad, who upset by something you might have said, or some information that that I have disseminated or whatever, or the conversations that are being had. Who knows? But guess what? The clip you showed of Michael Jackson. What clip I showed of Michael Jackson? What are you talking about? But guess what? It's definitely all good. It's definitely all good. I ain't even mad about it because guess what? Can't nobody stop what God got for me, because what God got for me is for me, and that's going to always be the story. You feel me? Did I speak on the Hot Boys reunion? No, I didn't. I didn't. I want my green name back. Listen, let the lurkers hate. Let them hate. Let them hate. Watch the money still pile up, huh? Because they can't stop it. Riri, yeah, it probably was. I think this is above your pay grade, Riri. I think this one is above your pay grade. However, it was just real interesting because I was like, I'm sitting there in my daughter's hospital room, and all of a sudden get a notification. I kind of glanced at it, and it said YouTube. I said, and I looked away, and I said, hold on, what did it say? Said your channel has been. I was like, oh hell, for what? And then when I looked into it, and they said reuse of content. I was like, are they serious? Are they serious? All these channels that be posting clips and utilizing clips and do less content of their own around those clips. We have a full show here that lasts 2 hours. So it ain't like I just post the clip and just let that roll out and just post it. But I actually talk about the things. Yeah, I'm talking about. Yeah, I thought it was Riri because I'm like, what are you talking about, Michael Jackson? But anywho, ladies and gentlemen, it's a beautiful day. It's Friday. Some of y'all have just got paid. And y'all know what I like to say. I don't care if you just getting off for work, if you are getting ready for work, if you out of work and looking for work, or you looking over in the bed, across the sofa, across the room, in that shower, and looking at your boo-boo bun thing, significant or insignificant other, or spouse, and ready to put in work, the Good Morning Gang Morning Show is going to get you right and ready. Listen. That's a fact. Get them likes up to match their views if you would. There's other channels that be doing the most, and they coming for, man, listen, but it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Ooh, baby. It's all right. Listen, one monkey or 12 of them don't stop no show because I'm a silverback gorilla. You hear me? That part on your way to work and don't want to go to work. That part too, Lady Kosanitha. We gonna get you right and ready. Hey, you're walking in your job with a smile on your face, Lady Kosanitha. Like at first you walked out, I was like, I don't want to be, I ain't trying to go. But by the time you get finished with the GMG, the Good Morning Gang Morning Show, you can walk into that office or to that factory or to that establishment or wherever you going with a smile on your face, girl, and a twist in them hips. You feel me? It's the Good Morning Gang Morning Show. Phil, you keep ignoring my question. What was your question? Retype it, DeBerg. I didn't see it probably because I was talking, but I didn't see it though. That's a fact, Vino Diva. Silverback Gorilla, not just your ordinary gorilla. Silverback Gorilla. Don't get it twisted. But yeah, if you retype that, DeBerg, I'll see what you're talking. There you go, Riri. Don't start. Don't start. Phil, did you hear about? Yes, I did, and I'm gonna get into that later on, DeBerg. I definitely heard about that. Matter of fact, hold up, did I? Hold up. I'm glad you brought that up too, because I forgot to forward that over. I forgot to forward that over, or did I? No, it don't look like I did. Oh, give me a second, real quick second, y'all, as I get this right. One time for the one time. Okay, bam. Yeah, I'll do it here. Everybody get on up. We replace image. Upload. Hold up. Oh, why is that set as an MP3? Hold up. I mean MP4. Cancel. Hold on, y'all. Pardon me on this. For some odd reason, this was saved as a movie, and it wasn't no damn movie. I mean, like a video clip or whatever the case may be. I sound extra Barry Whitish this morning, don't I? Step into the secret garden, baby. Listen, I know you like, Phil, you bugged out. I'm chilling. Okay, all right. Now we about to, hold up, Cletus. Now we about to have at it. Everybody get on up. Let me make that bigger so y'all can see what's popping. Boom. Let me rename this real quick. We about to get it on the road, y'all. Where do I want to put this, though? I think I'm going to put this up here. Hold on. All right, we about to get this party started, y'all. Okay. We in there like swimwear, ladies and gentlemen. Just seen The Devil's a Liar. We're cleaning up shop, getting rid of the riffraff very shortly at GMG. All that. The Mac Mizzle, salute. Good morning. BB, good morning to ye. Listen, since brother DeBerg brung it up, we gonna talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. By now, on IG, TikTok, or somewhere, maybe even on another YouTube video from a content creator, you've heard or seen text messages like these, or heard content created addressing text messages like these, right? Do not allow yourself to succumb to the bullshiggery of these messages, because that's all that it's meant to do. It's meant to rile us up and cause further issues and drama. Now, I feel as though whoever's doing this, should they ever be found out, whether it's one person or a group of people, they should receive the open hand welcome to life. What does that mean? If that person or those people are found out, whoever's doing these text messages, they should get the open hand of fellowship across thine face. One time for the one time, because this is some of the most ignorant, racist, bigoted, divisive, destructive, far from creative bullshiggery I've ever seen in my life. And I don't know who it is, I don't know who it is that's creating these text messages. I don't know if it's somebody from another persuasion or somebody from our own in our own circles, meaning our own people putting this mess out to further exacerbate a fire that's stoking already in these United States of America. The open hand of fellowship, Tavy. Yeah, that one. And you come from way back here. Bow! And give it to him. And say thank you. And you are welcome. Definitely a distraction. Definitely a distraction. But guess what? Oh, listen, I don't care if it was a man or woman sending them. Either one of them can get the open hand of fellowship for sending out some crap like this. But like you said, and like I said, don't fall for the okey doke, fellas. Don't fall for the okey doke, ladies. Don't be walking around don't be walking around your offices. Don't be walking around your neighborhood. Don't be walking around concerned as to who would be sending that out, and if somebody hack your phone and this, that, and the third. Your information is not safe totally on these internet streets or whatever the case may be. And unfortunately, there's been a gang of breaches of your privacy from organizations such as your banks, some of these social media outlets, and et cetera, where your information has been taken and or infiltrated. So if you get these random texts, they're not from people that you know. So you don't have to worry about whether or not somebody playing with one of my homies playing with my emotions, one of my girlfriends playing with my emotions, or somebody been hating the whole time, or one of my coworkers. It's somebody somewhere or some people sitting in some rooms that are orchestrating the bullshiggery, and they want the powder keg to go kabloom. They want the ticking time bomb called America to go up. So don't fall for it. But if they do find them out, the open hand of fellowship is what they deserve. Rudiger Brown, Eastside Legend, Karen Boyer, Denise Harris, Roxbury Born, Nicki Minaj, Onika Fan, Camellia Flanagan. Y'all come on over to the good YouTube. Why don't you? Give them the open hand of fellowship to the point they will never forget to stop playing. That part. We ain't our ancestors. We fighting back harder than they did, but they doing that to scare people and also doing it for a negative reaction. We are. What's up, Reddick? I'm over here on the good YouTube. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. It is a lituation situation where they are trying to get us to be further divided than we always than we than we already are. And I know y'all knew I had to bring this up. The election. The election. The election. God damn it. We are here, gathered here amongst ourselves. Hey, Dana Mac from that good Alabama way. That's a fact. Some of us are getting tricked out of these streets. That's a fact. Though the candidate that some of you, maybe all of you, probably not all of you, but most of you wanted to win did not win this election, unfortunately, due to some things that are outside of our control, as well as some things that were in our control. We can't cry over spilled milk, because that milk been sour anyway. No matter how you look at it, the milk been sour. So we can't just sit here sitting on our thumbs. Pause. No diddy. For y'all ladies that like the boot cup, y'all can. But for everybody else, We can't just sit here twiddling our thumbs. Let me say that, in our fingers and all these things, and sit here pouting and crying and boo-hooing over a loss. These things have happened for us as a people and individually in our own lives for so many years, for so many years. So why would we allow that to keep us down? Instead of that, it should keep us motivated to do something more. Rod Thomas was goody like the mob. I believe it too. I believe that. He said they cheated her out of office. Can we talk about all the positives that have happened since announcing the new president? And he's not even in office yet. Hamas calls for immediate end of war. This is huge news. They've off and on been doing that for years. So until that happens, Keisha Hall, that's just talk. Until it happens. Until it happens, that's just talk. But we shall see. We shall see. We shall see. Somebody put this list together and I wanted to share it. It says Kamala didn't lose Americans lost. And it said, what are the potentials of us losing? What are the potentials of us losing, ladies and gentlemen? Hold on, let me pull it up this way because, hold on, no, let me move that. There we go. Medicare, potentially lost. Overtime pay, potentially lost. Social Security, potentially lost. Child tax credit, potentially lost. Newborn tax credit, potentially lost. In-home nursing care, potentially lost. Minimum wage increase, potentially lost. Help starting a business, potentially lost. Help purchasing a home, potentially lost. Women's right to your own body, potentially lost. Covered pre-existing conditions, potentially lost. Freedom from police brutality, potentially lost. Rob Bourne, salute, said he not taxing overpay. What you mean, like overtime pay? It don't matter. It don't matter if he's not taxing it if they making you work X amount of hours a week, though. Tinky, good morning. Tara, good morning, good morning. Come on over to the good YouTube. Why don't you? Listen, if they tax it or don't tax it, it ain't gonna matter if you slaving multiple hours of the week before you even get overtime. Because under the proposed talks, you gotta, how many hours a week now you gotta work before you can get overtime? You know, if they implement these things, understand something. Yeah, they might not tax it, but how much you gotta work until you even get it? He don't even want to pay overtime pay. Man, listen. He trying to have you out there in the field. And some of y'all in the house, because some of y'all some good old stepping fetches. You hear me? Tiffany, happy Friday. Don't believe that, Phil. Don't spread that. What you mean don't believe that? What do you mean? He's been saying it out his mouth. Keenan, what are you talking about? You acting like I pulled that out of somebody's ass or paws, out of a hat with a rabbit. He been saying some of these things, or some of these things are in project. Not some of these things. All these things are in Project 2025. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. You forgot immigration, deportation. Oh no, I didn't forget that. That can mean anyone who are not residents or citizens, not lost, but ass out. That's a fact. It didn't matter before that. It won't matter now. Not sure what you meant by that. Government shouldn't have the right to tell women where to get health care if they can. True. Mass deportation doesn't mean he's checking for citizenship. Rod Thomas, that's an interesting statement. That within itself is an interesting statement. Mass deportation doesn't mean he's checking for citizenship. Wow, Devosi Grind, what's good? Rio S80, come on over to the good YouTube. That's a great point. because that would mean something else. That would mean something else, Rod Thomas. That would mean something else. You got to put a source to it. I just did, Keenan. I just did. Was you not listening? Him himself, Trump was a source from his mouth. Secondly, it's been talked about and listed within the Project 2025 document. Go read it thine self. Don't take nothing I'm saying as law. Read it for thine self, Keenan. Read it for thine self. Stocks are up. Bitcoin making a comeback. Korea spoke with Trump and called for peace. Immigrant program ended in New York. No more payouts. Gas is down. This is all good. GMG, let's not be biased. Report it all. Keisha Hall. These are things that happen anyway. Gas been down. Gas didn't dramatically drop since he won the presidency. It's been trending down for a minute now. So you can't say that. The immigrant program, some people are happy about that. Some people are not happy about that. That's up for debate or discussion or whatever. Stocks up, stocks go up and go down all the time. Bitcoin making a comeback, that happened. That's happened how many times now? That's nothing new. Korea spoke with Trump and called for peace. Now that's newsworthy. But we all know that he's kind of buddied up to certain countries in the first place. So that's not how can I put it? It's not shocking. It's not shocking. It's not shocking. But we'll see. We'll see. In due time. In due time. Shivala Lesh, Life, good morning. Jug, what's goody like the mob? I don't know about where you live at Keisha Hall, but gas has been like slowly but surely getting lower since before the election. At least where I'm at, and I'm in Virginia. and Keisha, when it comes to them stocks, sometimes that push and that pull is manipulated. And there was a report, and I started to report on it, but I didn't. And it was talking about the people that really gained something out of his win were the 10 most wealthiest individuals on the planet or whatever, including Elon Musk and a few other people, that their monetary value went up tremendously, and probably in due to part to the stocks or whatever. But it's going to be interesting to watch. Economy always do better under Democrats. That's what I don't understand. Why she even said that, Jug. I don't. But that's the thing, right? Some people are so either turned on by one thing or turned off by another thing, and not really paying attention to like the long term. How can I put it? The historical aspects of things, as well as the long-term possibilities, positively and negatively, when it comes to these decisions or whatever. Trump's election has a good impact on the money market so far. That's all speculative, because at the end of the day, let's talk about that for a second. If he talks about doing these tariffs, hey, I hate Toddy. Hey, y'all coming over to the good YouTube. If he talks about implementing these tariffs are going to affect these companies. A lot of these companies that are on the stock market, it's going to affect them heavily, just like it's going to affect you, the end user. What then? What's going to happen to the economy then when these tariffs come into play? Because some of these companies don't want to pay more for the products that they get to in turn either offer you as a product or a service. They don't want to pay you, the employee, no more to work for them and or to install or install the services that they offer. So what then? Who's affected? Who gains? Who wins off of that? Who you think the stock market is going to stay good if he puts these tariffs into play? I'm just saying, if he institute all these hours, right? If that goes into play, all these hours before you can get overtime, do you think It's going to be a lot of people staying at these same jobs. And if they don't, will that not affect the companies and corporations that will in turn affect the stock market? Let's be clear. Then on top of it, you got them automating a lot of jobs and things via these robotics and robots. That's going to affect a lot of things too. So yes, certain stocks are going to go through the roof and some going to fall through the bottom. They fluctuate on a daily basis. That's a fact. He bringing companies back to America. What companies, the Mac Mizzle, what companies would he be bringing back to America? The companies he got are in, the companies that he is talking about are already in America. He's talking about the outsourcing of production and manufacturing, et cetera, et cetera. And how, Sway? How? How would he do that and compete with China, India, and all these other things? I've talked about this on other shows. How would he do that outside of prison labor? There is only one other way. What's up, Kai? Good morning. There is one other way, and that's with artificial workforce, meaning robotics, which means there's going to be people losing jobs. That means there's going to be more joblessness. Think about that one. While y'all talking about, oh, it's looking good, it's going to be so good. How else could he bring jobs back to America? Companies back to America via their manufacturing of products, goods, and services. How else is he going to even do it? By either prison labor, that's on the back of you, I, us, them, any color, or two, through robotics. How, Sway? Make that make sense. I think that's something that none of y'all have even thought about. Y'all women who voted for him, I pray you never need a procedure after a miscarriage or a medically induced abortion and came to get it. A woman lost her life because she couldn't get cleaned out afterwards. Yeah. I'll be glad when this trickle down happens. It never does. There it is right there. What billionaires want to give more to their employees, they take the tax breaks and pocket the money. That part right there, Frank Murphy, that part right there. Hey, Melanie, good morning to you. So all this hyped enthusiasms for the wrong thing, you need to, rethink the whole thing. Like, okay, right now, you might get a stock hit. You might get a stock hit or two, but if you ain't got that much money in stock, it ain't going to dramatically change your life or nobody's life around you. However, if you are situated to where you can be invested properly, right about now, you should be seeing some great gains. And if you do, and if you're smart, you'll take that money from that and invest it in a business or two or something that will create more passive or ongoing income and money for yourself. I'm just saying. People might see more on their checks, but come tax time, they will get less back. That part I wouldn't know. That part I wouldn't see as a bad thing. That part I wouldn't see as a bad thing, Creole, because all they doing is using your money anyway, and not faking like they doing you a benefit by giving you some of it back when they actually are taking your money, investing it in all kinds of things, and then giving you back pennies on the dollar, basically. The fallout won't just hurt us; it's also going to hurt the old white grannies sitting on in the nurses' home too. That exactly. If y'all think black folks and brown folks are going to be the only ones affected by this, you're sadly mistaken. If there are any people in the audience or listening that of white persuasion, Asian persuasion, or any other persuasion who think, oh, I'm not black or Latino, so this ain't gonna bother me, you gonna find out something different when you realize that your white ass, your yellow ass, or whoever you may be, don't got enough money to be considered amongst the friends of Frumpy Frump, and that you ain't gonna have too much of a benefit from nothing, especially you good blue collar working ass knuckles. Huh? A lot of y'all jobs are going, listen, unless you're going to be working in one of these factories that they bringing back to America, huh? Making textiles, making clothing, making electronics, making all the things for pennies on the dollar, unless you're going to do that, huh? If you think that's only going to be us, you're sadly mistaken. I'm just saying, you're sadly mistaken. And Riri, as strange as that might sound, you actually right. All of y'all are, yeah, mass deportation and all that. Who you think paying for that? Who you think gonna pay for this mass deportation going on? Because it's gonna take buses, it's gonna take planes, it's gonna take trains, it's gonna take holding facilities. They may or may not feed them, but if they feed them, who's paying for the food? Understand something. Understand something. Everything that glitters is not gold. So all you good hating individuals, yeah, they need to go. They need to go. You willing to give up your paycheck or some of your money to pay for it? Because that's what's going to happen. They're going to take some money from you, from your taxes. They're going to tax you to pay for this, all under the guise of keeping these borders safe. Huh? Think about that one, huh? I personally don't work overtime. They lucky to get my 8 hours. I know that's right. How the hell does his Bible being forced upon the school system the Christian thing to do? Right, I don't know what you mean by that. You gotta expound a little bit more than that. This will hurt the small business owners. That's a fact. Projected inflation percentage will be 2% by the end of December. It's already being talked about just since the election announcements. Come on, let's really do research. The shade room, TMZ is not the root. That you're right about that. And they said that I think it was cut by 2.5% already. Keisha, they said that. But guess what? Understand, again, everything that glitters ain't gold. Everything that glitters is not gold. Why are you being so negative, Phil? If he fails, the country fails. Is that what you want? Keenan, I'm not being negative. I'm being more of a realist, because in my life I'm more of an optimist than anything. I'm never really a pessimistic person about too much of nothing. I'm more of an optimist when it comes to things, but I'm also a realist. And one, the last time he was in office, that should show you partially what his leadership looks like. One. Two, all the things that have taken place since he lost the last presidency up until now, running for the office, and the things that he have said about you and I, Keenan, about other people of color, about other individuals and nationalities, and or the dictatorisk, I know that's not a word, dictatorisk innuendos, overtones, undertones that he's talked about. So you said if he fails, the country fails. To me, the country has failed already. Everybody talks about they want change. Everybody, from your mama and them to your brother and them to us. Everybody wants change, and we want change to be good. We want it to be good, but some people weren't willing to step out on faith and vote for change. A lot of y'all voted for some of the same old. Now, ask yourself this. Ask yourself this. All jokes aside, all the bullshittery aside, right? This is to my black supporters and brown supporters, right? All of the negative trash that he's talked and said, and things that he said that he's going to implement or wants to implement, that will directly affect you, your family, your offspring, and could be generations to come. How is that looking at it negative when this man has said these things out of his mouth? Keenan, I don't know where you live at. I don't know if you got any children or not, my brother. I do know you a black man, right? I'm pretty sure that is not a catfish photo, right? So if he decides to actually implement putting that law out there and it gets passed for police immunity, Keenan, you could get pulled over for a ticket and lose your life. A ticket nonetheless. You could be walking across the street, not in a crosswalk and lose your life for nonetheless. They could get the wrong information, Keenan, and end up kicking your door in, Keenan, and killing you, Keenan, unaliving you, Keenan. To no recourse for your family, Keenan. Had he not said that himself, then I can see you saying, Phil, you just talking. That's all rumors. That's all. He's personally said these things. And if he's lying about all the things that he's been saying, what was his purpose for saying it in the first damn place? Make that make sense. The good thing he can't run again. Oh, that's Shavala. It all depends. It all depends on what laws are put on the books during his tenure. Understand that. Because he also the same one said you ain't got to worry about voting ever again. He also said that. Understand something. They got a plot and a plan. With this whole election that happened, they had a plot and a plan. I forget who it was. He was on stage with somebody said, "We got a plan, don't we?" I forget who it was, and I was just like, "Look at this." Then you got stories of ballot boxes being put on fire. You got stories of mail workers that have taken and put thousands of ballots, mail with ballots in the trash air or in the little jungle areas of Florida, the Everglade areas of Florida, different things, right? You hear all these things. Most of the places where you heard there was issues with the ballot box machine, the ballot machines and things of that nature, most of the places that you've heard about it were in areas that were predominantly us. Do you not think that that's an issue? But we not crying over spilled milk, right? When the milk is already rotten, right? We not gonna cry over spilled milk. Hey, Simply Nay. So what's the solution for outsourcing then? Mac Mizzle, the only two solutions would be to use prison labor, slave labor, or robotics. Because who else, Mac Mizzle, ask yourself that question. Are you gonna sit and create thousands of products for pennies on the dollar? Would you do that? I'm just saying, realtors already excited. Housing market will be coming down. Mortgage rates will be dropping back to 2 to 3%. Says who, Keisha Hall? Says who? How? How would the housing market just all of a sudden just drop? How? When the when the need for housing is escalating, how's the housing market going to come down without the production of more housing? I'm just saying, without the production of more housing, which Kamala Harris had as a plan, and a plan to bring in more revenue for the government by way of offering down payment assistance on this new housing. Because you do know you still would have a loan, you still would have a mortgage, right? So there would still be some monies paid that the government would get their parts of, right? So it just make sense. Trump's election has made the people with money comfortable in investing again. That's why the markets are moving along with the Fed. We shall see. Because y'all act like y'all haven't, well, I don't know how long y'all been playing in the Bitcoin market or the coin market or whatever. But for those that have, y'all act like y'all haven't seen certain events where shit skyrocketed, but then all of a sudden was drained real quick. And a lot of people, especially the regular people that get enthused and start putting more into the Bitcoins and dodgy coins and all these other coins and things, get so enthused they put more into it, but they get into it usually well after the people, the powers that be, know when it's time to pull the hell out. And they end up either marginally winning or losing. That's been a game that's been played forever. The only time you could, I ain't gonna say the only time. One of the times where you could greatly win is when you see certain individuals and their companies moving on a stock or moving on a coin, and you getting in at the right moment and you sticking and stay to the almost to the point where you figure that they gonna pull out. And you try to estimate when they're gonna pull out and beat them to it so that you don't lose none of the gains that you get. But we're gonna talk about things like that later on. We're going to talk about things like that later on. Hey, D1, I see you. Established. Good morning to ye. And ask yourself this, D1, how is the U.S. dollar all of a sudden rising? Make that make sense. When so many people are trying to pull away from the U.S. dollar internationally, how is the U.S. dollar rising? Make that make sense. Make it make sense. I'm just saying. How about Harris wanting to raise taxes on corporate America and in turn corporate America? That's going to happen anyway. Turpin Forcer. Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you a question, y'all. How y'all doing? Y'all come on over to the good YouTube. Turpin Forcer. What's the difference between Kamala raising taxes on corporate America, who makes the most money anyway, and who a couple of the richest people that we know on our soil were okay with, Warren Buffett, Mark Cuban, and various others. What's the difference between that and Donald Trump instituting tariffs that the end user is going to be affected by anyway? Meaning your products and services that you're getting from these places are going to cost a lot more to the wholesale places, to the retailers, who in turn are going to have to up the prices to you anyway. Who's winning? Either way. The difference is if Harris was in office and was able to implement the higher taxes on corporate America, the average Joe, such as yourself, Terp, myself, and others, could keep more of our good earned money. That's the difference. Whereas on the other side of that, when them tariffs come in, tariffs are another form of tax. Y'all do know that, right? Tariffs are another form of tax. And it's going to, those type of taxes affect the greater good. So in essence, those tariffs will also affect these corporations, which will also affect these retailers, which will also affect the end user, you, me, the consumer. Make it make sense. If we all Americans, if we love our country, we want it not to fail. So, Keisha Hall, make this make sense then. Since we all Americans and we don't want it to fail, why would you back somebody that did a traitorous action against this country as an American? January 6th, you forgot about that, right? That's all well and good, huh? He was voted out, and he wasn't satisfied with that then. But you're a good American, though, so you want the country to win, right? So you put that same type of individual, you want that same type of individual to be reinstituted and now feel like he has more power than he had then. Make that make sense. Let me ask you all this, right? If somebody you know is senile, if somebody you know is suffering from dementia or Alzheimer's or one of these illnesses, would you put them in control of your finances, over your life, over all the things that you need to have? Would you put them in control over these things? Please answer that. And I know I'm behind in these comments, so let me catch up. I might be going past some of your comments, y'all, because I had to catch up. I'm way behind. Federal minimum wage has never been raised because the Democrats have controlled the government 16 out of the last 20 years. So let me ask you this, Turpin Forcer. When Trump was in office, why he didn't raise it? Why he didn't raise it? I'll wait. Why he didn't raise it? Since the Democrats had control of it the last 20 years, why he didn't raise it while he was in office? Make it make sense. I mean, no, but it's already done. What are you talking about, Nay? Please skip my comments. What are you talking about? I'm trying to slide back, pause a little bit. We've been at war. Look at what's happening in Israel. I'm gonna get to that, Melly, too. I'm gonna get to that because it's some things that can take place that could change a lot of things too. But we'll see. The U.S. dollar is rising because it's the world's reserve currency, meaning if you want to invest in any market, you must first convert your country's currency to the U.S. dollar to invest. Good response, Charlie Hustle. But with so many countries trying to divest from the U.S. dollar, make it make sense. Make it make sense. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Rye Thomas. Because every time a Democrat comes in office, they spend the first 2 years. Man, talk about it. See that's the thing. Any pluses that any president such as Donald Trump has seemingly had, they got it from the Democratic. The Democrat president that was in office before them. Think about it. Think about what Obama inherited. Think about what Obama inherited from from the Bushes. And how he turned that around. Remember, Obama ain't do nothing. He couldn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. But how did the economy under him to get effed off under Trump? That should be a telltale right there. That should be a telltale right there why people shouldn't have wanted him back. But the real reason they're gonna have Phil dressed like Amistad, they're gonna have you dressed like Amistad, because I'll be more like Nat Turner. Sorry. Charlie Hustle, no, the US dollar is not pegged to gold. That's been the problem. It used to be pegged to gold. It's the dollar. Charlie Hustle, you're going to have to do your due diligence on that. The U.S. dollar is not backed by gold these days, buddy. No. There was a time when it was, but they stopped that long, long ago. Long ago. Trump freed Harry O. If it don't get more realer than that, that's like the stupidest, ignorantest thing in the world. Let me say this for a minute, right? And I'm not hating on nobody from the street, because I come from that life or whatever, right? I come from that life, but you glorifying freeing somebody who was part of the detriment of your community. One, right? Okay, cool. Free them, right? Free them. But if any of these presidents want to impress me, they would free the ones that could actually help institute change in the street, help change shit. That would impress me. Just because you free a glorified drug dealer or glorified killer or glorified this, that, and the third, that don't impress me. What impresses me is if they would free some of the revolutionary prisoners that they have. If they would free Larry Hoover. If they free Larry Hoover, who knows what Chicago would look like now? Who knows how that culture would change up? Because part of the problem was, even though it is what it is or was what it was, he was trying to make it a different entity. And whoever's in here that's from Chicago or part of the GDs and all that, they can speak on that, because that's not really my place to speak on it. But he was actively trying to turn their organization into a vessel of change and a political entity. And that's partially what got him locked up. But if Frank White, if you want to see me impressed, if Trump want to impress me, free that man, free Larry Hoover. If you want me to be impressed by Donald Trump, free somebody like that. Free somebody that's gonna help. You said the sky ain't falling. It sure enough ain't. Free somebody like that that's gonna help affect and effect our youth. Frank White, you don't know me very well, Frank. See, I don't got to be on a fake avatar or fake account or none of that. If I said it, I meant it. If I say it, I mean it. More like Steven from the Django. Yeah, a lot of these jokers are Steven from the Django. Man, listen. And the only reason they're getting pardoned, Frank White, is to make room for other youngins that are coming through. Cause they, I ain't gonna argue that. Y'all to each his own. But if you want me to be impressed by any president, Democrat president, Republican president, free some real ones that can affect real change in our communities, huh? That's what you do. But that ain't gonna happen. They'll give you a killer. They'll give you a drug dealer. They'll give you, especially if they done served a whole bunch of time. Yeah, let them go. Because we got little JoJo. We got little Henry. We got little Luloke. We got little Bloody Blood. We got little, you know what I'm saying? Whoever that's coming up the pike that's going to fill this bunk right here and going to give us this however many more years of good labor. Good labor. I'm from Crenshaw Mafia. It's crazy. They've been freeing them for years. Hey, Lady Costanita, man, listen. We are backwards as a people. D Blade, good morning to ye from that good H-Town. Some of the same, Miss A Block. You said what next on the what you call? I'm just throwing names out there, West Coast living. The point I'm making is that don't impress me because a certain couple hood individuals getting released, especially if they ain't gonna do shit to help the community. Let's keep it a buck. But the ones that could really help the community, that people, even the youngins, still revere, they won't let them go. And them will be the ones that could affect change in our communities and get some people on the right track, long as they still got their mental wherewithal. That's the problem. How is living in the Bay and is this, what? What are you talking about, Frank White? I'm just saying, if y'all want to impress me, free some real ones that can help change our communities. But you won't hear no real ones talking about that, will you? Let's be clear. Let's be clear, because I know there'll be different ones that will hear this. I'm not hating on nobody that's been freed. I'm not hating on no individual that's been freed. But I'm personally saying, if you want to impress me, free a real one. Give clemency to a couple of these real ones. But we'll never see that. Anywho, I want y'all to watch this video real quick. It was an interview. This guy sat down with this white nationalist. You know, that's what they call themselves now, right? And it'll give you a great insight as to the thinking, the think tank behind everything that's going on with this election, with Trump, the Project 2025, and some other things, or whatever the case may be. Y'all check it out. Let me know what you think.
Very well. Eddie, how are you?
Nice to meet you. Thank you for meeting us, Mr. Taylor.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Yeah.
Europeans have probably, on a per capita basis, killed more than anybody else, but because they were technologically more advanced.
Where does gunpowder come from? It comes from China. It's just that Western civilization took things from people. And I think when you get to older civilizations, they become more benevolent. They don't hang on to things like genetics as much. They understand how experience changes you.
Base them on facts instead. That's essential.
But what I find interesting is you're so into facts and you're so into science, but then you supported Donald Trump, right?
Well, that's a whole different question. That's a whole different subject. Let's get back to...
But I want to know how it is you
Don't let
voted
it
for
frighten
Donald
you.
Trump when you're so into facts, because his entire campaign is not based in facts. It was all based in propaganda and emotion.
I voted for Donald Trump for one reason only. His policies, if implemented, would slow the dispossession of whites in the United States. If he were to deport all illegal immigrants, if he were to think very hard about letting in any Muslims, all of this would slow the rate at which whites are becoming a minority.
Why are you so worried about the white dispossession of America?
Because I want my people to survive. Is that so strange? We don't control China. We don't control any place where whites are not a majority. And if we become a minority, we will not control our own destiny anymore.
I grew up in this country as a minority, as the children of immigrants. I was their first child born in America. And while I didn't have much possession or didn't much control, I really enjoyed myself. And I think that if you ask a lot of Americans, they would say that I had a lot to offer this country. You know, according to you, I guess I would be perpetuating the dispossession of white America.
That is true. That is true.
Would you say that you wouldn't want me in this country?
At some point, when my ancestors built this nation, they did not build it with the intention of giving it away to Mexicans or Chinese or Haitians or to anyone else.
Do you consider, you keep saying your ancestors built this country, you consider that a fact?
Who else built it?
Black people, Native Americans, Chinese people who came and built the railroads.
Do you think none of that could have been
Italian
achieved?
people.
But they're Europeans, aren't they?
But you believe in evolution, right?
Evolution, I think, explains a great deal.
So, according to evolutionary theory, we're all out of Africa. So, at some point, your ancestors were sub-Saharan Africans.
So what? At some point, our ancestors were unicellular animals.
So I'm saying at any point in time, we could say you were an African. So you're choosing to pick this point in time and say you're a descendant of white Europeans.
Why do you think I'm choosing this point of time?
Because it's in favor of your politics at this point.
It's because I'm alive now. Come on.
But my issue with you is that I don't think you have enough compassion and vision, not because I don't like what things are now, it's that I have hope and belief in what they could be.
Look.
Shout out to Vice Land for that. Listen, this is my thing, right? Before I go forward in what I want to say about this, who was it? Charlie Hustle said I made a large investment in the EVs because of what Biden ran on and making all cars electric. I took a big L. All of it's a gamble. With the stock market and all, that's why I said you got to know when to get in and when to get out. But let me riddle me this, Charlie Hustle, because your man, I'm guessing that you voted for Trump. I'm guessing, right? Your man said that he's going to do away with these electric cars and all that and make gas great again. I'm paraphrasing, right? But he has Elon Musk sitting beside him all of a sudden, who's one of the biggest creators of electric vehicles and things of that nature. Make that make sense. Does that make good sound sense? He ran, and there's footage of him saying out of his mouth, not AI, but him talking at one of his rallies saying that he's going to do away with electric cars, electric vehicles. However, all of a sudden, he got Elon Musk after that, right there by his side, who is one of the top electrical vehicle manufacturers. Make that make sense and look at the hypocrisy there. Now, getting to what we just watched or whatever the case may be, shout out to Viceland for that footage. That footage, I think, is very, very telling, very informative, and should garner some understanding as to how some of these people think. And to me, I'm gonna keep it 100. Okay, Charlie, also you voted for Kamala. Okay, I stand corrected. I'm sorry. What's up, Bryson? Good morning. I have no problem. I have no problem. That's a fact, Keenan. That's a good point. I have no problem with no race, no creed, no culture bigging up, looking out for, taking care of, or having pride in their own race, creed, or culture. I have no problem in that because we all should be proud of who we are, from whom we come, and what our way of life was and or is. So I have no problem with that. The only problem that I have in it all is, and it's centered around racism and bigotry, to the point where you have to put your foot proverbially in the neck or on the back of another race, creed, or culture to make yours seem better. That's the problem. You can scream white pride, white power, all you want. Be proud of whom you are. But if you got to throw the NIGGER and all these other defamating terms out there to try to make my people look bad, to seem to make yours feel or look better, that's a problem. You got to do things and implement certain things to try to keep your people relevant by implementing things that will keep my people oppressed or my people underfoot. That's a problem. And the guy who looks like he's an Asian dude made a valid point, made a super valid point. We all come from Africa, or the name of the continent that what once was, because like I said, before the land masses split, there was all one continent. Don't let that go over your head. And if life has been proven by scientists of his race, of the white dude's race and others, that life has begun somewhere in Africa or in those lands, meaning, like dude eloquently spoke, that would make you African, right? You should. So what? What that mean? Dumbass. Then what makes you better than me? We all come from the same tree, right? But a lot of people forget that. And we all get caught off into the Democrats, the Republicans, and all these different things. I've often said, and I'll stand on it, if you read the Bible, or whatever the case may be, I don't know how it's depicted in the Quran or whatever the case may be, but in the Bible, they talk about the Pharisees and the Sadducees. Look that up. Read. You can do it online. Read who the Sadducees were and who the Pharisees were, and that will give you a good analogy and look into what the Republicans and the Democrats are, and where we stand, being where we are, and are either one of them perfect or good for us, not just as black people, but as people in general. It's very interesting. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm very interested. I think it was called something else before Pangea, Riri, but that's good though. You on the right track though. You definitely there. And you're right. It wasn't called Africa at all. That's a fact, Keenan. He's definitely not campaigning his hard just because he believes in Trump's policies. Understand something. Okay, Trump won, so are people going to complain for the next 4 years? Actually, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that, Sarah Lynn. Stay there. That's a good point, Sarah Lynn. Stay there. Stay there. That's coming later. That's coming later. It's coming later. It's a method to the madness. It's a method to the madness, Sarah Lynn. Walk with me. Walk with me. Walk with me, because I don't believe in sitting in your mess anyway. I don't believe in sitting in your mess, stewing in your mess, or in your pain, or in your hurt, or in your disappointment. I don't believe in none of that. But walk with me. With that video being said, right? A lot of y'all know who Michael Moore is, right? Some say he's a conspiracy theorist. Some say he's very unorthodox. A lot of times he's spot on when it comes to certain things. Not all the time, but a lot of times he's spot on when it comes to certain things, right? I want y'all to check out this video, him in relation to what he thinks Biden could do in his last days of his presidency, right? I want y'all to pay attention to this. I am a solutions-based person. I never whine and complain. I've already been out in the trenches working. Shout out to that.
In his final days in office, Joe Biden is being called out by Michael Moore to unleash his full immunity and deliver the bold changes Americans are craving. Let me explain. According to Moore, Biden should take advantage of the recent Supreme Court ruling that expanded presidential immunity for official acts. In theory, this means Biden could make bold moves in his final days without worrying about the usual political consequences. Moore laid out a bucket list of executive actions Biden could take in his final days. These include adding gender equality to the Constitution, eliminating student and medical debt, granting clemency for nonviolent drug offenders, and pardoning Edward Snowden. He even suggests banning spam text messages. But these aren't just random ideas. They're bold reforms that already have widespread public support. Moore also wants Biden to address global crises, specifically urging him to stop military support in Israel and to push Netanyahu to negotiate for peace in the Middle East. Moore warns that if Biden doesn't act, his legacy could be overshadowed by this conflict. These final 100 days could define how history remembers him, not as a lame duck, but as a president who used every ounce of power to help the American people. With the clock ticking and the power still in his hands, what do you think Biden would do with his last days as president and full presidential immunity? Let us know in the comments.
Something to make you go, right? But I got another video that kind of takes it even further. It says, Charlie also said, I've never voted Republican, but I'm a realist. Even a broke clock is right 2 times a day. Got to listen to both sides, defer what's fact and fiction for yourself. Now, that's a fact, Charlie. That is definitely a fact. And Sarah Lynn says, Biden might as well make that reparations executive decision. That ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen from a Democratic Party or I'm a Democrat or Republican, Sarah Lynn. To do that properly, Sarah Lynn, I think would kind of bankrupt the United States. To be 100, I think it would, but you know, if you're a solution-based person, you're not worried about the reparations, Sarah Lynn. Like you said, you're a solution-based person. I will in a few minutes, the Mac Mizzle. You wouldn't even be concerned with the reparations no more because you already know it ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. Exactly, Justin. Beat them at their own game. Do what Trump tried to do. The Frog, good morning to ye. Listen, Polo Dolo, what you don't realize is this country is going to send money over to different countries for different bullshit that we ain't got no business being involved in for. Period. Whether the Democrats are presidents or the Republicans, they have to maintain their place and space as a superpower and a go-to country. They have to grease some palms, be it actual money, be it gold, be it arms, weapons, things of that nature, or even if it be by might, by sending our own troops over to certain places and spaces that we ain't got shit to do with. We have to do that as a country. To whom is called, much is required. I'm gonna just say that. But y'all listen to this next part, right? This gentleman, what he says, I've seen a couple people mention it online or whatever the case may be, but the way he breaks it down, things that make you go, Teule, what's good? I'm over on the good YouTube. I want to get y'all thoughts on this one.
I have a great idea. Let's have Joe Biden step down and make Kamala Harris the first female president of the United States. He can do that. There is nothing that would stop him from doing that. I am going to resign the office and step aside, and instantly, constitutionally, automatically, Kamala Harris becomes the 47th president of the United States. I love this idea, especially since so many people say, Biden blew it, he shouldn't have run, he should have dropped out earlier, whatever. This would be a perfect way for him to yet again make history as the classiest class act that's ever been in the Oval Office. What do you think of this idea?
Question, what do you all think of that idea? It seems, on the one hand, it seems far-fetched, but on the other hand, it's very doable. Very doable, right? What do y'all think about? When I heard that, I was like, And in doing so, under the current climate of the House and the Senate and these things, before all these things change over, implement some of them programs that she talked about running on. What do y'all think about that? He should have done that 3 years ago. Man, listen. Cassie said that would be gangsta. For 1 month, that's a teaser. It's going to be more than 1 month. It's till January. The end of December, basically. Well, it is 1 month. I guess you could say that, yeah. Look at you, Riri, talking about send checks. Checks is the checks is about this much of the bigger picture. Yeah, Sarah Lynn, I saw what you were saying about I will continue to fight. As well you should, Sarah Lynn. You have and to be honest, you have a greater chance of getting that land back that was taken from your family than them giving reparations across the board. You have a greater chance of that happening. Keep that fight up. I would say keep that fight up. I wouldn't say totally give up the fight on reparations. I'm just saying, in a realist point of things, until we become unified enough that we could demand certain things or affect change in the laws for real, reparations will never happen. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But that was never going to happen. And to think people really thought America was going to allow women to run over our country, y'all are really deceived. This is a man's world. I get that. I get a lot of people think that. Yes, I did, red face. Justin Show, they would absolutely lose their mind. They would absolutely lose their mind. But it's not a bad ideal, though. It's not a bad ideal. It could be the best going away present that Biden could do. It could also give light to the excellent job she did in campaigning in such a small window of time. 2. 3, it would give American people enough of a small window to see if she wants to institute some of those things that she had under her policy plans or whatever the case may be. I'm just saying. And or could remove the immunity part. You get the right votes, it could get the immunity part off the table. I'm just saying. A lot of us Kamala supporters will hold the door open for him to walk through. That's right. Phil, love you, brother, but there are other news we could talk about. Not nothing. What? Because we're not talking about shucking and jiving news. We're not talking about Lil Leroy and his release from jail, or Lil JoJo and his drop it like it's hot video release. Or we not talking. there's a time and place and space for everything. And this is a journey, and there's a reason why this is going the way that it is. Walk with me, Daz. Walk with me. You'll see. I know y'all tired of hearing of it, but guess what? This is the day and time that you really need to hear it. Hear it, because if this race didn't show you something, it should have showed you a whole lot. A whole lot. Feel it's over. Just focus on getting money, and if America burns down, they earned and just moved to Canada or something. Sam Unstoppable. But if all these things are implemented, who says you're going to be free to move anywhere? Who says you're going to be free to move anywhere, Sam Unstoppable? Understand so, but I'm with you though on keep getting to some paper and make some things happen. I'm with you on that. Walk with me though. Walk with me. If they can spend $30 billion on a couple of elections, they could pay restitution they owe. The Holocaust survivors still get reparations because they unify and fight for it. That's the key point right there. That's it right, Sarah Lynn. I said that. Until we get into a place that we can demand some things, it ain't gonna happen. We got to get to that place of space to unify, Sarah Lynn, and fight for it. Until we get there, it will never happen. Trust me. And they've gotten there not just by physical unity, but also economic unity as well. We got a long road to take to get there. I'm just saying. Charlie Hustle, that's it right there. Even if everybody don't agree, this is a great conversation that's needed. It is. And I'm going somewhere with all this. I'm not talking. Trust me, when I end this, it will not be sit on your ass and whine and moan all year or all this whole presidency that's coming up. That is not what I'm on. That is not what I'm on. Trust me. I think some of y'all want to rush through things sometimes, and some things can't be rushed through because some people can take a pile of eat a big portion at one time, and some people need to be spoon fed. So sometimes you got to take your time and build stuff up and then get them to another place. That's it. At least we can get jobs in the fields. What? Frank Murphy, I know you playing. I know you playing with that one. Boy. I know you bugging with that one. Anywho, the secret of freedom lies in educating people, whereas the secret of tyranny is in keeping them ignorant. Read that again, ladies and gentlemen. The secret of freedom lies in educating people, whereas the secret of tyranny is in keeping them ignorant. I want y'all to listen to this little clip with Ice Cube talking, and we gonna get to it.
No matter who wins, you're gonna have to get up and get your ass up and go to work in the morning.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So it's a situation where that's not gonna change, and whoever wins, don't expect them to do anything for you. You know, what you need to do is figure out how to do for self, because obviously, you know, these ideas, these things have been presented for years and years, and we get the same results. So, you know, to me, it feels like that's a dead end for us to really make progress. You know, we're gonna have to do it on our own. Can't look for the government to help in any way, shape, or form.
I mean, there are conversations about certain civil liberties being stripped away and taken away. So that, if anything, sets us back even further, though.
Let me tell you this. All the liberties you think you got, when the police show up, the liberties shift from you to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In that instant, in that moment, yeah, you can take them to court. Yeah, you can do that. But when the police show up, all the rights you think you got shift to them, because they got the weapon, they got the authority, they got the power. So it's all an illusion.
Interesting, right? Des, you said nobody need to spoon feed me nothing. What y'all talking about? You may be able to consume or digest things in great capacity or whatever, or easily, Des, but you ain't the only one watching, and everybody doesn't ingest or digest things the same way, brother. That's all I'm saying. That's a fact, Sarah Lynn said. The crazy part about it is that MLK left a blueprint for boycotting systems, but we never do. We go right to the master's biz after March. Man, listen. Listen. Now getting to the part of the conversation in which all this is meant to be talked about and where I'm going with it. If these conversations, especially the last one, right, didn't do anything else for me, you know what it brought me to the conclusion of? I ain't talking about none of y'all, what y'all need to do, want to do, feel like you want to do, none of that. I'm talking about for me. What the hell? Okay, hold up. Oh, there you go. What it did for me was made me realize that, Phil, even in your years, you got some more learning to do. You got some relearning to do. You got some unlearning to do. And you got some further exploration you need to do. I'm talking about me. I ain't talking about none of y'all, right? And I'm using the situation where we was talking about the race with Hillary and Trump or whatever the case may be, because I inadvertently, even though the topic got switched, so I was kind of not really on that, I had an immediate thought that something different took place within that election or whatever the case may be. So in hindsight, in that instance, I sounded a little uninformed or whatever the case may be. And then after going back and really thinking about it and actually soul searching or whatever, even though I said that they were right in the conversation, I really realized how much they were right and then I wasn't right. So in doing so, I realized that I'm me, and if I feel like I'm versed in different topics and different things, there's some that are more versed in this, a lot there that are less versed or whatever. But as a whole, we need to get well versed in a lot of things or whatever the case may be. When it comes to our culture, when it comes to our history, when it comes to learning things that could viably set us up for success individually, in our family, corporately, as a community, et cetera, and get some of these powers and get some of this power that Sarah Lynn was talking about that the Hebrews and the Jewish have when it comes to demanding certain things and getting the reparations and getting the respect and getting laws and things changed and moved or whatever the case may be. Exactly why, which is why I had said it earlier, Phil, you've been around for 13. How has it impacted your life negatively? If never, then take these next 4 and get to the money. But getting to the money don't mean shit, though. Getting to the Stack Stone, what's good? I'm over on the good YouTube, my brother. Getting to the money is not the whole pie. It's not the whole picture. That's what some of y'all got it effed up. Hey, Sierra Bay, that's where y'all got it effed up. Hold on, Mac Mizzle. I'm going to mute you for a second, then I'm going to bring you up. Let me bring this point home, and then I'm going to open the room for conversation, okay? If all it took was money, if all it took was money, there's enough money in the black community to make all these things happen. There's enough money in the black community to make all these things happen. The problem is some people are educated and hide the education to keep their status, or some got money and don't have the education enough to know what, 1, to do with their money, or 2, how to be effective for our communities. 3, you have people that have money and just ignorant. They don't want to know no different. They just, I got the bag, I got the money, and I'm good. And then there are the other folks that are striving to get to the money and they feel like their back is against the wall, and they have no understanding, one, of how to really get to the money, two, what to do with the money when they get it, or three, the laws, the statutes, the codes, the things that bring about real power. Then there's the other part. Most of us don't know where we come from to know where the hell we at, to even understand or get a grip on where the hell we need to go. Point of it all is, and I talked about doing this a while ago, and I'm actually working to implement that now. Over the weekend till by next Wednesday, I have everything in place so that if you all are interested, any of you all, some of y'all might not be, it will not be, I'm definitely going to put together a book club. I had been talking about doing it a long time ago. This book club will be for reading literature, will be for reading nonfiction as well as some fictional works, but generally it will be to educate us on history and in other areas of improvement that we need as people. Finances, financial literacy, various other avenues that affect us in our communities. Improving upon our relationships of self, relationships to our spouses or counterparts, and also relationships to one another. Those that will be interested in that, I'll make an announcement of that, and if you want to be involved, cool. If you don't, cool. I'm gonna do it anyway because I'm gonna do it for myself. And in these, and in this group, in the group that's gonna it's not gonna be a gossip column. It ain't gonna be for none of the IG dumb shit or arguments or none of that. I don't care if somebody don't get along with this person and both y'all are in the group. Y'all are there for a purpose, and it's to learn something and gain something. And if nothing more, expand your mind a little bit. I don't care who's beefing with who don't like who, or whatever the case may be. That will definitely not be a forum for any of that garbage. If you're not coming in to maybe personally better yourself in some capacity, you can stay the hell where you at, and we can still be cool. But I want for all of us to learn some more things, or whatever the case may be. There'll be a couple of people that I'm gonna reach out to that I feel as though might be good to be involved with it with me, to see if they would avail themselves or whatever the case may be. And we're going to see if we can make this happen or whatever the case may be. It's not going to be an overnight change or whatever the case may be, but it'll definitely be something that it should touch each person that'll be involved with it. Because some of the books that I have in mind for us to read, and probably some of the books that some other people might want us to read, would definitely bring about a cultural shift, a change in mindset, an eye-opening, and who knows, maybe down the line, a pocket opening for people involved, whatever the case may be. Hold on, I got you, Mac Mizzle. I didn't forget about you, brother. I didn't forget about you. Hold on. Uh-oh. Hold up. Replace Mac Mizzle on this scene. Mac Mizzle. Trying to unmute you, brother, if you're still there. Are you there, Mac Mizzle? There you go. There you go.
Salute, Phil.
Salute. What's goody like the mob? You just
I'm
remuted
bad,
yourself.
Lord.
There you go. There you go. You keep hitting the mute button, whatever the case may be. You got to unmute yourself by hitting that little microphone, Mac. Either that or exit out and come back, and you'll already be set to be up here, Mac, if you would. Come right back, Mac. I don't know what's going on with this thing or whatever. Pause. But the point of all this, right? And for those that have left or whatever, hopefully they'll come back. Hopefully they'll come back and listen to the end of this. The point of it all was not to sit in our shit. The point of it all is to sit around and just, oh, she didn't win. We didn't get what we want. Well, woe is me. I ain't never been that dude. I ain't never been that dude. What I am about is what we gonna do about it? What are we gonna do about it? What are we gonna do about it? Besides just this, besides just lip service, pause. Social economics, all that, Frank White, that's a fact. The point of everything that we talk, Coach Travis said, you got him blocked, Phil. Can you? I don't have him blocked, but I can check into it later. I can't do it right this moment, Keenan. But I never blocked him. Somebody else might have though, but I didn't. But I'll check into it. The point of everything that we discussed within this episode of the Good Morning Gang Morning Show has not been just to stay stuck in the woe is me, or stay stuck in man, she should have won, or stay stuck in Trump is on some BS, or stay stuck in these white supremacists, they want this, that, and the third. We know all these things. We know all of it. But what the hell are we going to do about it? And the first thing we need to do is educate ourselves. The first thing we need to do is crack open a book, take a look, read in Rainbow, because a lot of us are scared to read. A lot of us are scared to learn. And hell, they got Audible now, audible.com, that would allow you to listen to the book being read to you. But I feel as though we need to get back to learning some things that will strengthen us as individuals and strengthen us as a community. I'm just saying. I don't know what happened with Mac Mizzle. I don't know what happened to him. But what the hell he say? Don't be scared, Phil. Just yeah, all right, peep scared. You bugged out. Listen, Sarah Lynn, don't be laughing at that bullshit. Sarah Lynn, your ass be laughing a little bit too much on dealing with that certain situation. I'm just gonna say, we all need to do better, though. That's a fact. We all need to do better. And that's the point of it all, because the choices that we make or the lack thereof affects us individually, but corporatively affects us all or whatever. We have to stop putting so much expectations on man. God is always in control. Do we want better for our fellow citizens? Yes. Do we need laws and guidelines? Yes. We need to keep things in order. That's a fact, Keisha Hall, but keep God first. And understand when people are moving in godly fashion or not. That's a fact. Keep God first in control, but you also got to know if people are really moving under godly direction. Because a lot of our so-called leaders ain't of God, and some of them ain't moving in a godly manner. Because if they did, if any of them did, they would heal. They would heal the homeless issue. They would correct and fix it. They would heal, correct, and fix the hunger issue. I'm talking right here on U.S. soil. If they were moving in a godly fashion, they would heal, correct, fix the racial divide and promote unity amongst us all and equality. If they were moving of a godly fashion, they would make it so that all of us, like, ain't that what the Constitution say? All of us are created equal. These things, right? They would exude that. So until any of them do that, Democrat or Republican, ain't none of them moving 100% godly. I'm just saying. Phil playing scared never. What are you talking about? A nation is only as strong as its weakest citizens. Ah. Cotton Candy, what you said? You said in discussion too, Phil. As far as just godly in discussion, yeah. There you go,
What
Mac
up? What
Miller.
up?
Okay. All right, there you go. There you go. We can hear
Salute
you.
to my man Phil. My man Phil got a good show going on.
Peace. What's
Yeah,
good,
now.
Mac? Do me a favor. Do you have two windows open, like say YouTube and this, or because
No.
there's a hell of an echo going on.
Hold on.
Justin Show said, "Where's Dr. West and Jill Stein at? Jill Stein at right now, man. Maybe Trump can help me get my OG Instagram ID. Okay. What's good, my brother?
So Phil,
Yes, indeed.
how does it feel to lose, man?
Some of the race.
Yeah.
I don't.
The
At the end of
election.
the day, at the end of the day,
I, I
the at the end of the day, I apply it to anything in my life. I either win or win. So either I win and it is what it is, or I lose and I learn. And when I learn, I
you
win.
learn, right? Okay.
So I win. So there is no losing in this situation, because what is making me do is to get refocused on some things. And I was just talking about that. I don't know if you was listening, but I'm gonna start a book club to which anybody that wants to be around, we're gonna start reading and getting to know our culture, from whence we came. And I ain't just talking about on no slave ship neither. To
I like that. I like that.
to
We need
where
that.
we at, to where we need to go, and the various tools that are lacking within our community to help us get there. That's what it made me do. So in that instance, I'm actually winning and going to win even more. And hopefully anybody that comes along for the ride will definitely win more too, in their own personal lives and corporately as a community or whatever. Dallas forever. What's good? Queen B. What's up, Mr. Biggs? I'm over on the good YouTube. So either way I look at it, it's a win-win. She lost me. It's a loss in the initial aspect of it all, but in the long term, it's going to be a win, because it's something to learn out of this whole situation, in how people act, function. I'm talking about. I ain't even talking about other people, other races and cultures, but I'm talking about of our own people, our flaws, our shortcomings, our greatness, our attributes. You know, is a lot to learn out of this whole situation. Is that one of your babies in the background?
Yeah, it's my daughter. She was.
Hey, daughter.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. Phil.
Yeah. So no,
You know what I'm saying?
I don't consider it a loss. I just consider it just something else. You know, because things happen. Just one more thing. That's it.
There's a
But I
lot of
ain't get to this.
bitter Democrats
I ain't
out
get
there.
to this age.
I gotta
I
ask.
ain't say that again.
I said there was a lot of bitter Democrats.
It's gonna be a lot of bitter
You know what I'm saying?
Republicans too, because when they realize once he get in office that he ain't for them neither, then what? Unless you sitting
Well,
on
he
upper.
never started as a politician. You know that, eh?
That's
He
true.
started
And that's true. That's true. But then you got a lot of
maybe
people
that's what
that
it is.
think that he's a god of entrepreneurialism, and a god of making money, and a
Yeah,
god of
that's
salvation, and they gonna be rudely awakened to what it is and what it
I
ain't.
don't understand the cult like following he has, but
Yeah, yeah.
it is what it is.
But
I mean,
that's another way of seeing something about us. We give too much credence to man. We give too much credence to these titles, to these things.
right.
We give people too much power, more power than they actually have. We give it to them. One
Nah,
in one in our adoration, in our idolizing, but also two in our ignorance of not knowing.
yep. That's true talks.
Are they saying it's a bad echo? I don't know. It has to do something, because
Yeah,
you know, with StreamYard sometimes.
I don't know what it is, but let me try to
Sometimes
fix
it's
it.
the two channels or whatever. What browser are you here on? Is it Chrome or is it? Oh, he left. Okay, he left. I don't know what. I don't know. I don't know if it was Chrome. I got to figure that out. I got to write to support or whatever because I don't know what why it does that because I don't hear it most times on my end. Y'all say y'all hear it, but I don't hear it on my end. And I don't know if it's because I got this roadcaster or whatever the case may be, but I'm not hearing what y'all are hearing. But the point of it all, ladies and gentlemen, yea, though I falter, or they try to trip me up, one or the other, guess what? And still I rise, and still I rise. And that's what I want us to do as a people. I want us to rise above it all. I want us to get to where we need to get to personally and as a people. I want us to be able to pursue our passion and our purposes, all in positivity, but not letting up on the bullshiggery, meaning not falling for the okie doke, not allowing these other individuals to think and feel they can play with you and that it's all good. Because it's time out for that. It's time out for that. You ain't got to jump out no window. You ain't got to be Superman. You ain't got to be super Negro, super Latino. You just got to, you know what I'm saying? Utilize your mind to the best of its capabilities and become those vessels that you were meant to be in the first place. Now everybody ain't gonna open their eyes, everybody ain't gonna crack open a book, everybody ain't gonna want to do better. But for those that do, you get to a place of commonality and you unify. You unify. And you unify not to, hey, Ashtray, BB, whoever that is, not to unify and to take another race down, but to unify and just claim your spot at the table where everybody else is sitting comfortably. That's all it's about, sitting equally at the same table as everybody else and having a say, a true say in what this country look like and how its inhabitants are treated. That part. Yeah, rest up. If y'all gonna get removed, being on that other stuff. Y'all gonna get removed being on that other stuff because this ain't the environment for that. Keep it a buck. This ain't the environment for that. Hold on, I got you, Mac. Where's the damn? There we go. Boom. Poor baby. She get me out this car.
I'm trying to put parking, man. This is man.
I can dig it. Sarah Lynn said, Kamala lost, but I'm still a winner because I survived what would have taken out most. That part right there, Sarah Lynn. That part. Riri, I ain't never team up with no damn feds, so don't even try to put that jacket on me. You the one that be going back reporting things to people. We ain't gonna talk about it. Huh? You still good, but just, it's a different environment over here. Just chill. That's all. For any and all, not just you, but all people, everybody. But anyway, Mac Mizzle.
Don't. Let me ask you something, Phil.
Sure.
Don't you think that Joe Biden kind of threw Kamala under the bus, making her run on
How?
such short notice? I
It
mean, I
was
know he
probably
was
the
sick.
best. It was the rightful and best thing to do under the circumstances. Now, should he have done that a lot sooner? Yes. Should he have
A
done
lot,
that before he
exactly.
ran? Yes. But throw her under the bus? Nah, I don't think that. I don't think she was thrown under the bus. She might have been thrust out there quicker than she might have wanted or whatever, or
Right.
in real opportune fashion. But I don't think he threw her under the bus. I don't think that.
Nah, it's because it's kind of like he's not gonna be known for losing to Trump, and she will. So in the history books, I
I
just look
mean,
at
but
it like that.
given the fact that given the fact that how much time she had to campaign or whatever the case may be, she did an awesome job with that little bit of moment in time. whereas some would have been stuck on stupid. And she, whether some people wanted to hear it or not, or act like they had goobers or wax in their ears and didn't hear, she actually really had some good policies and plans that she wanted to seek to bring about. Whether they would have been able to come to fruition or not, that would
Yeah.
have been another conversation or ball game. But
Right.
she did have some things like even with the building of X amount of new houses and offering X amount of dollars to new homeowners, regardless of credit. I mean, far as your credit score or whatever the case may be, to be able to experience home ownership, that's a good one.
Yeah, she came out with some good policies for black men after Obama wagged his finger, but then Biden came out right out of the helicopter. He's gonna go forgive the Native American. So I feel
What's
like
wrong
I
with
don't
that?
know, man.
What's wrong with that?
Well, shouldn't you forgive the slaves that helped build the country too? Like, you know what I mean? I
But
don't know.
you, if you want to correct your wrongs, you go back to the beginning of your wrongs though. And to be honest, before they were slaves, before there were slaves here, there was an atrocity that happened with other people too.
No, you're right. You're right about it.
But
No, that's nice.
one this is my thing. One shouldn't lessen the other. Like people shouldn't have a problem with Asians getting some kind of justice. People shouldn't get mad at Latinos getting some kind of justice. People shouldn't get mad at Native Americans or indigenous people getting some kind of justice, and they shouldn't be mad at black folks for getting justice either, because a wrong is a wrong. Hell, if there's some way when white folks were done wrong, they shouldn't be mad about them getting justice. The justice should be equal across the board. The reparations should be equal across the board. The understanding should be equal across the board. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. So, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. If you
From a
heard the
political
president
standpoint,
yesterday
it
say like Biden feels like he made them.
was a stretch, but I hear
I
you.
mean, could be. If he really feel like that, that was a stupid thing for him to think. If that's really what he thinks though, because in
Right.
actuality he was falling apart before our eyes or whatever, due to his
Exactly.
age, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And you don't want that to be part of your legacy as a president or as an outgoing president, because people gonna always talk about that. They gonna forget about some of the good things he might have done, but they gonna remember when he was falling asleep at the podium. They gonna
Yeah,
remember when he was dozed
that's why
off
I
or
don't
whatever.
fuck with Kamala too much. I mean, she didn't have much to work with. You know, even though she raised $1 billion,
Mm,
it was you can't really buy votes like that on such short
that's
notice,
true.
and you got
Michelangelo,
she's
GMG.
black and she's a woman. You
Yeah,
know, they didn't.
we spoke about that earlier, Michelangelo. The difference between the Jewish and us is they stick together. They stick together economically. They stick together culturally. They stick together. Once we learn how to stick together, like the Hebrew, like the Jewish, then guess what's going to happen? Then we'll get to a place in space where we'll garner the same amount of power and influence that they have on society, on the laws, and everything else. And they know where to infiltrate in real estate, in legislative, in judicial, as lawyers and things of that nature. Why you think there's so many Jewish lawyers? Why? Understand? They
Yeah,
operate. They
they
operate a
infiltrate
certain
every
way.
level of government.
Exactly, and you can't hate that. You shouldn't
Nope.
hate that, because at the end of the day, they are looking out for their people. We'll look at that like why they got to be why they no. What we need to look at is how did they do it? How did they do it, and how can we implement that? And take that which is pertinent to our situation and applied to our situation. Nah, it's a lot more than the Jews sticking together. They made deals hundreds of years ago, but that's a different conversation. The Jewish, but understand something. When the Jews,
Do
when
it
the
though.
Jews,
That's a deep conversation to have though.
it is a deep conversation. And when they came here, they were looked at as NIGGERs too, just like a couple other cultures and races. Even within the Caucasian or Eurasian persuasion, because at a time Polish people were looked at as NIGGERs. The Irish were looked at as NIGGERs. There's a lot of forgetting that goes on with a lot of people when it comes to immigrants, migration, how they were treated when they came to this so-called melting pot, and the progress that as every new came about, you know, each new race basically, or not race, but ethnic group were treated unjustly or looked at as an enemy to those that were already here. Because it's funny, right? When you got somebody that's been here, this is the thing that I feel like is funny when it comes to us looking down on Latinos or Hispanics for coming into this country trying to better themselves, right? How are you gonna have a problem with somebody else who's trying to do better for them and their family, like you should be doing, one, and two, allowing somebody that's kept a boot in on your neck and your back to help push that propaganda and or fuel your anger towards them. If they're getting some kind of job that you're not getting, find out how to get that damn job. Some of the jobs y'all didn't want anyway before they got here. But now that they here and they doing them, you got a problem with it. The problem is we look at other people as being our enemies. We look at other people as being our enemies, and they are not our enemies. And then you wonder why they are not truly our allies, because our eyes are jaded towards them. So you expect them to not look at us under jaded eyes, even though we looking at them under jaded eyes and saying certain things. Not all of us, but some of us are saying certain things about them and their culture, but then don't want them to say nothing about us and our culture. Not realizing that neither side are the enemies. Neither side are the ones perpetrating all this division and exclusion. That Elon Musk thing, buying votes, he should be locked up for that. That should be illegal. That should be illegal. And I think there was talks about that. I think there was talks about that. There should be some illegalities to that. But I think the problem is this, right?
A lawyer brought it to the forefront.
Huh? Say that
A
again.
lawyer brought it to the forefront,
Mm-hmm.
but it was shot down.
Shut down. I heard, yeah. But it's the people that we put in place, right? The certain people put in place to represent us when it comes to judicial and legislative dealings. I'm just saying we have to see our value. We have to know our value and know this. And I keep equating it to when I was on the block or whatever, when I was outside or whatever case may be. And maybe for some it's the wrong analogy, but for me, for some other ones, it'll make perfect sense. I never gave a shit about whoever else was selling whatever else. One. Two, I never worried about if somebody else wanted to come to my block or my area getting whatever they were selling off. I didn't care about that. You know what I cared about was me making sure I got off what I had to sell. And two, if they were doing something better than me or enticing people in a certain way, to find out what it was they were doing and applied what I could to what I was doing it, and either tweaking it or twisting it to make it my own. That's where we need to get to when it comes to these other races and cultures. I said this the other day about the corner stores and all that. Stop being mad about those people that are in your communities with their store unless they are downright racist. If they're downright
You just like me,
racist,
Phil.
get them up out of there. But
In the
if
streets.
some people in these stores have heard propagandas before they came to this country and they see us a certain way. It's your job to educate or re-educate them so they can see something different. Now it does happen that way in certain neighborhoods, but not in all. We got to stop looking down on people just trying to feed their family and find out why the hell we not feeding our families and do what's necessary and implement what we need to do to feed our own family. That's it. Period. At the end of the day, the white male showed up and showed out, and now only time will tell what this next 4 years do. That's a fact. They suing Elon. he didn't give the money out. He scammed them.
I thought it was white women and Hispanics. You know?
White men. Well, it's Hispanics too, but they showed like a chart or whatever. And let me say this too, right? Don't let this before this election. There's been too much of the division amongst us as black men and black women. And there's been conversations that black women didn't show up or that black men didn't show up. We showed up. Not enough of us showed up on either side. To keep it a buck, not enough of us showed up. We showed up, but not enough of us showed up. But damn sure we need to get the division all out of our minds when it comes to y'all didn't stand up for a woman because she was a woman and this, that, and the third. Stop that dumb shit. If we gonna heal from our own mess, we gotta say enough is enough. Enough of
Facts,
the
Phil.
propaganda, enough of the
I'm
bullshit.
with you on that.
Because we are never gonna get somewhere if our house is divided. We are not. We're not gonna get nowhere with our house divided. And as much as y'all want to be independent and think y'all got it on the ball, I don't care how much money you got. A man needs a woman and a woman needs a man. Period. And I say that to say we need each other. We need each other. We can't do it all ourselves. We weren't made or built or created to do it all ourselves. Period. So stop with this. Stop with this internal hate. Stop with this internal hate. Men hating women, women hating men. Stop with that bullshit. What is it gonna get you in the long run? Because at the end of the day, when it's time to fight, if there's ever a time to fight, who's going to stand with you and fight? Who you going to need to stand with your fight? A woman going to need that man to stand with him. A man going to need that woman to stand with him. We going to need each other. We definitely going to need it. But that's for another conversation, another day. Sarah Lynn said, learn from Trump. He used to piggyback to boost his credit, and he used shelf corps to get everything else here. That's a fact. And they do it all the time. They do it all the time, Sarah Lynn. That's the thing. We be so busy worried about the external dumb shit that we don't pay attention to the real shit. But I mean, it is what it is. It's all about balance to me. What did Ray Parker Jr. say? A woman needs love just like you do. That's a fact established. What's up, Mo? You know we over on the good YouTube. That's a fact. We definitely, and it is legal, Sarah Lynn. That's a fact. That's a fact. If you think about it, Trump legally used the system in place to one, hide his taxes, to not present his taxes, to not be held accountable for certain things that he should have been held accountable for while he was running for president the last time. And he was allowed to not shuck and jive, but like pull one over on everybody's eyes when it come to presenting his taxes and things of that nature. But he did it all legally. So who of whom are we to be mad at, to be honest, when it comes to that? So you need Peeps Gay. He bugged out. Obama had 60 million voters. Biden had 81 million. Trump had 60 million. Kamala had 60 million. Trump had 70 million. Where's the 20 million that voted for Biden? That's a fact. There's a lot of people that didn't show up, Keyshaw. There's a lot of people that show up. But it wasn't just black men. It wasn't just black women. There were other races and cultures that didn't show up. And there's a lot of people that was faking a fraud and being part-time broads out here talking about, yeah, they support her, and they really didn't. And then there's those, well, I ain't voting because my vote don't matter. My vote don't matter. But be the main ones concerned and running their mouth about some shit that really does concern them and that they should have had input on. Hold on, Cassie, I got you. I don't know if you got two windows open neither, Cassie, but there's a lot of feedback. I can hear it. The difference is not really so much echoey, it's more like you got a bad connection.
Okay, let me go out and come back.
All right. Phil, no funny. I'm heading to Laredo, Texas tomorrow. Yeah, all right, peeps. Remember when he told Hillary, y'all made the laws? He's really Nino Owens. He's about to take down the courthouse. Sarah Lynn, now there's truth to that. There's truth to that. A lot of people said one thing and did another. That's a fact, Justin. That's a fact. I'm just proud of my oldest son in New York. This was his first time voting. Shout out to son and getting out there to vote. That's a fact. In other news, the Commanders putting the belt to the NFL. Womp, 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 womp. I ain't gonna lie though, Frank Murphy, they doing their thing this year. But I want to see how we gonna deal with them around Thanksgiving when we see y'all though. We say the system needs to be torn down and rebuilt, but in the same breath, we can't be mad about how it gets dismantled. That's a great point. That's a great point. I can't front. Most of my homies didn't vote. 90 to 95%. I've been talking shit to them all. And that's the thing. That's the thing. A lot of us, because see, we just look at the one race. We look at the presidency. And I always say that it's not about the presidency. It's about getting people, the best people possible in place from your local races on up. Because that's where the shift goes. It's like dominoes, right? And you stop at that one domino, you hit it, and it is. That's the same way it goes up. Goes up goes up the stairs that way. You need people. You need people locally that, for all intents and purposes, represent the people to the best of their ability. Hold on, I got you. Hold on. Un momento, por favor. Hold on. Replace guest.
Yeah, Trump does talk in vagaries.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Speaks
you
with a
now,
forked tongue.
and I got you up here now.
Do you guys hear an echo?
Yeah, big
I
echo. Yeah.
I don't hear it on my
Me
end. I
too.
don't know. It's
I
okay.
don't
Just
know what
speak
it is, Phil.
until
So
I
big.
get it right. We just gonna have to make it rock and roll.
So I cut and paste the link on another browser and closed everything out. So I don't know why there's still an echo.
I don't need. I'm gonna have to contact support and see what's causing that.
But I just wanted to add 2 cents real quick. I'm at work, so I'm up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, now I done forgot my train of thought. Oh, you were saying you were saying that back in that all these other nationalities were called the N word or thought about as that type of person back
They
in
were thought as. They weren't
right?
literally called that, but they were treated as such. But go ahead.
But none of them are still feeling the after effects like we are. So regardless of whether that's how it started, we are still getting the crappy end of the stick,
True.
if that makes sense. So
True.
all I wanted to get on here and say is make sure y'all are supporting small businesses. Let's stop giving money to these large corporations. And what are we doing to make lives better for one another, for our families before each other? Like, stop thinking of self and let's think of other people. Only
Facts.
we can make the change. Who don't matter. I mean, it matters who's in government, but really, what are we doing every day to make the change for this world, in our cities, in our towns, or wherever it is we stay? You understand what I'm saying? Like, it sucks. And man, I had a dream last night too that I woke up and she was
All
the
right.
president.
Cassiel King. I know Michelangelo. I'm gonna have to get that fixed.
But anyway, that's all I wanted to add because this echo is driving me nuts.
It's gonna be all right. This too shall pass.
It will pass. It will pass. But have a blessed day, y'all. I got to get back to work.
All right, you have a blessed one.
Trump administration got caught of
What you saying? Are you reading a comment or something?
no, I said Trump got caught of your
Huh?
whatever this console thing is.
What
I
happened?
hate the echo. I think it's coming from the
You're just gonna have to ignore it. Somebody said it might be the roadcaster that I'm using, but
yeah,
I'll
the
have to.
roadcast.
Phil's voice has not been changing.
Yeah, your voice is good. It's our voice, huh?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I got to find out why, because I don't know, because it's all going through this online software, so I don't get it. But we shall see. We shall see.
Right.
Let me see something. Say something.
Yep.
Say something,
You
Mac.
hear me? Yep. Yep.
Mac, can you hear me?
Yep. I can hear you now.
Is it echo? Is it echoing still? Never
Yeah, it's
mind.
mad delayed now.
I was trying. I was trying something, but yeah, that ain't gonna work. That's not gonna work.
The trumpets hacked the page.
It's all good. Hold on. Let me. Hold on, y'all. Somebody already did it. Yeah.
You ever try StreamYard?
I was using StreamYard before this, and it was worse.
Oh, okay.
To keep it a buck. So
feel you.
I just got to see what it is or whatever. Might reach out to Harry. Harry might know. But anyway, the point of it all, there was a method to the madness in the conversation and how we maneuvered with all this. But I feel as though we have a lot to learn out of this whole situation, and from it, we need to learn to learn. We need to learn to relearn. We need to learn to unlearn. I use myself as an example, and hopefully other people will want to be involved and follow suit. Not because I want you to be involved, but because I do want you to be involved. I do want you to better yourself, but for your own personal development. It did sometimes, Cassie. It did. Are you using separate audio channels for your mic and computer audio? Now, two different. It is two different. One's through the main and one's through the chat or whatever the case may be. I'll try that and see if that on the next show and see if that changes it, Justin. But again, next week, hopefully by then I have reinstatement of my monetization here on YouTube. Hopefully they'll, because like I said, I have not gotten one copyright strike, but they call themselves doing whatever it is they wanted to do, but it's not going to stop me from putting on a good show for you all and have great conversations and having the tough talk sometimes. But we're not going to continue on with this election stuff. We got to move on. In the words of Dez and a couple of people, we got to move on. But we definitely gonna still have these tough conversations that we need to have. We definitely need to have these tough conversations that we need to have. That's it right there. Until we get to that place, Keisha Hall, we up Shit's Creek. Until we learn to stick together.
What he means about making America great again.
I put that out there on the last live. Like, when was it ever great that it's gonna be great again? What period of time that it's going to be great? Because it really isn't until certain things are addressed in our borders with things that can be fixed. Until those things are fixed, eradicated, or changed, then America's never going to be great to me. But I'm just me. But do you have any final words, Mac Mizzle?
Yeah, man. Just y'all don't worry about this election, man. We gotta be like the Asians, man. We just gotta take care of our own people, you know what I'm saying, and move forward for the better, man.
I can dig that.
That's it,
I can dig
Salute
that.
to you, Phil.
Appreciate that, my brethren. And don't be a stranger. Come back. You hear?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we definitely all need to, thank you, Keenan. I appreciate that. I think we all definitely need to lean in. Pay attention. Pay attention to everything that's happening. Listen. Listen not only with these ears, but your inner ear, your third eye. Pay attention to the things that are taking place before your eyes. Enough so that you could possibly get that discernment to pick up on the things that are coming before they actually get here. One. Two, make preparations for yourself and your family to learn, to know some things. Because if you don't know what to look for or to listen for, then you might as well be listening to womp, 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 womp. But if you learn to learn the things that you might be afraid to tackle or get involved with or to learn about, if you can get a basic understanding of these things, you pushed yourself a couple steps forward just by doing that. And again, it might open your eyes and open your ears to wanting to be more in tune with your own culture and being able to work with your own culture, despite our flaws and all. You feel me? Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. I gave y'all a little bit of OT. I ain't give y'all too much, but I gave y'all enough. You know what I'm saying? I got things to do. Again, check within the next, by Wednesday, I'm gonna have some things posted, and I'm gonna give y'all like the green light to be there so y'all can go. And if y'all want to be a part of the book club, you can. It's a couple other things I'm implementing so that we can keep the continuity of everything going or whatever. Because what's not going to happen is nobody's going to try to push me or make me fearful of talking about any topic. I'm going to talk about what the hell I want to talk about. It'll be received by who it need to be received by, and it's not going to be received by other people, you know. But in the interim of it all, I want us all to win. I want us all to be better individuals, and I want the betterment of our people and of our communities, or whatever the case may be. And with that being said, y'all, smile, because you never know what it might do for somebody. She's doing all right, favorite Danny. She's doing all right. I did forget the anonymous questions. Cassie, why you had to say something? Hold up. I'll make it quick then. I'll make it quick before I do go, y'all. I'll make it quick, damn it. Kathy, you forgot the dang question. You forgot the question. What it says your inbox is empty? Why is my inbox empty? Hold up. Something ain't right here. There you go. Oh, shucks. Well, this first one, under the Ask GMG, it says, should I tell my sister I caught her husband with nose candy? It's really bothering me, or should I stay quiet and mind mines? Lord have mercy. Whoever wrote that, this is a rock and a hard place. This is a rock and a hard place because when it comes to love and relationship, that you can put yourself in the middle, in a grinder, so to speak. In a grinder, so to speak. You know what nose candy is. Talking about that booger sugar, that sugar booger, that white substance or whatever the case may be. Damn. On the one hand, I would say yes, tell your sister, right? Because that's something she would need to know, whether he's a functioning addict, casual user, or messing up their money or whatever the case may be. But if you do, you ain't been listening to Established because I've been announcing it for the last couple episodes. Thank you very much. And I've been putting it in my stories, Established. But if you do go to your sister, be prepared to possibly be ostracized. Because two things can happen. She could think you lying and get angry at you because she think you lying. Or she could believe you, and at some point her and her husband get beyond that or stay together, whatever the case may be. Then you're going to be made to be the outcast or the outsider in that situation too. But in all honesty, if this is not a rumor, if you actually saw this, you might want to put that in her ear because it's something that could affect the family and could affect her. I ain't stalking your stories. You must got stabbing you a bug out. But that's it for that one. Because that's a situation where you be damned if you do, damned if you don't. This other one says, how can I ask a dude out, or how should you go about asking a dude out? Ask him out if you want to ask him out. I think we're in a day and age where it's not frowned upon for a woman to look down on a man. I mean, not look down, to ask a man out. If you know what you want and you want to try, then you ask. Melly, what the hell are you laughing about? But if you know what you want, go after it. That's with anything in life. If it's a career, if it's a goal, if it's a dream, an aspiration, if it's love, go after it. If that's what you truly want. Or whatever. So hopefully that'll be enough for that one. Boom. Last one is, how do you start over with dating after being hurt multiple times and the type of woman who loves, and I guess this person's saying they're the type of woman that loves hard. I promise you I'm not making these questions up. I promise you I'm not making them up. What the fuck? How do you start over with dating after being hurt multiple times and you're the type of woman who loves hard? I would first say love yourself. And in loving yourself, I would say acknowledge and evaluate what went wrong, far as the type of person maybe that you've been seeking to have a relationship with. Are you entertaining the wrong types of people? Are you realizing and recognizing the symptoms, the signs, the red flags that are often presented well before you get head over heels in love with them? Are you allowing yourself to heal and be okay with the losses that you've had, and you're not carrying those things into the newer relationships? There's nothing wrong with loving hard. There's nothing wrong with loving hard. Melly, no, I would never write them questions. I ain't that bored in my life. Trust me. It's okay to love hard, but you should be loving hard on the right people. On the right people. But with love, or what a lot of people know it to be love, and pursuing somebody, and will it last? Will it matter? These things, nothing is promised, but unless you take a chance, nothing is gained either. Meaning you'll never know if he is the right one unless you take the opportunity. You'll never know if she is the right one unless you take the chance. You get what I'm saying? You're not guaranteed that it's going to work out or be for the betterment of you or her or him and you all's lives, but you'll never know unless you take a chance. But what you need to do is leave some of that baggage. Matter of fact, leave as much baggage at the door as possible. And matter of fact, throw that baggage in the trash and stop lumping it on the new person's back, because that's unfair to them and unfair to you and unfair to whatever relationship that you're trying to have. You won't be able to progress if you don't let go of the pains of yesterday. It doesn't mean that you forget and be a fool or a sucker, or but what it does is free you to be able to receive proper love, or to be able to love somebody properly. Because if you go into a new relationship, even though you love hard, if you go into a new relationship and you're hurt, deeply hurt, and continuously hurt by one person or multiple individuals, until you get healed from that and be okay with the fact that you went through those things, you'll never be okay enough to love somebody new, because you won't be able to love them, because you won't let go of that thing or those things that that are keeping you bound relationship wise. But I say this: don't be afraid of the way you feel. It's real love. I'm going to see y'all tonight on Feel the Love. We might continue this conversation on Feel the Love Fridays. Why not? And for those that think, hell no, I'm not going to write these questions to myself. Why? Come on now. I ain't got the time in the world. I ain't doing all that. Excuse me. I ain't got the only thing I'm letting go. Y'all silly. It's free to be mindful. Understand something. In this day and age, life is short, right? Life is short. So if you want something, go after it. If you want to receive something, be receptive of the very thing that it is you want to receive. Pour into a relationship or a friendship just what you want poured back into it. So I always say this, right? I will never ask something of somebody that I'm not willing to give them. My time, my energy, my love, my attentions, my affection, all those good things, right? I'm never gonna ask those things of ask those things of a woman if I'm not willing to give them in return. Quality time, all those things. I'm not gonna ask those things of a woman and not be willing to have that readily available for her or whatever. So if you go into relationships like that, and also be mindful of the people you're choosing to give your affections, your attention, your time, your admiration, adoration, and things of that nature. If you pay attention to whom you are doing these things for and to, that'll help you a little bit. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, smile, because you never knew what it may do for somebody. More, including yourself. More important, you got to find a woman first. I'm talking about for anybody, Miss A Block. Listen. See, you starting as soon as I say something, you gonna be like, yeah, But anywho, y'all love on somebody on purpose, with purpose, that is. And last but not least, I'm not anti-you, I'm pro-me, but with an emphasis on building we. Let that marinate in your melon till the next time we chop it up and have a tay-to-tay. Until that day, I holla.
We're one big happy family. We're one big happy family. Hey, thank you for tuning in.
T-Mo was good.
Make sure you come back again.
Ain't nothing nice was good.
Tell a friend, tell a friend. It's GMG and Big Phil Speech.
Mommy, fight glue up. Yeah. This is live on the good YouTube now. Peep scheme, I can still read the comments. You tried it. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, y'all have a beautifully blessed day. And for those that can come back, I'll see you tonight on Feel the Love Fridays. For those that can't, y'all have a wonderfully blessed and safe weekend. You feel me? I'll be in and out on these IG streets. I'm putting something together shortly that I'm going to probably post within the next hour or two. Hopefully you'll like it, or whatever the case may be. I think you might, but who knows? Y'all are finicky and fickle people. You feel me? But love is love. I'm about this summer, my bitch. Y'all have at it. Yeah.